Well, all right. Let's get into this, shall we? Some Fall Guys on another day of Fallen and Guys. What do we got? Nebula Captain, which is a very expensive costume. FGIB, which... whatever. Another FGIB with some really dumb pants. Belzenickel? Is that like Krampus? 12, that's the... I think... Save me, super guy? No. Alright, so nothing I'm interested in. We're rocking the, Shovel Knight one. Yeah, sure, let's just do it. Let's just jump right into a game. So I'm super late. You know, Fridays are just my busy days, I guess. I guess I'm just super busy on Fridays. So I feel like every day we keep doing it later. The first episode of the season was at like 9:30. The second episode was at 10. Now here we are at 10:30. I just keep getting later and later. That's kind of funny. But yeah, we're back, and it's a lot of things that like keep me late. Well, today it was that I was busy, so I didn't have time for dinner, so I wouldn't pick that up at like 9. But also, I had to watch The Falcon and the Winter Soldier because I had been pushing that off all day long. Only 26 people to populate? Last time I swear I saw it was 40. Wow. But yeah, I was watching Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm terrible with those, the things I've been putting out on the main channel. I'll probably get it up Sunday, but, because I gotta watch the episode again, and it's an hour-long episode. But it's a freaking good one. I've been enjoying it so far. One more week to go on that. And then Loki's in June. Yep. The MCU. Oh, also Invincible. I've been keeping track on as well. We're probably not going to talk about Invincible today. I mean, it's still really good. Go watch it. It's kind of hard to talk about it because, well, first of all, I've read about half the comics. Maybe that's probably an overestimate, honestly. Yeah, that's probably an overestimate. I've read a fair bit of the comics, but like, at least half, or maybe. And then I don't know. I've been enjoying the show so far. Some things are definitely different than how they were before. They've definitely taken some twists. But then other things are completely different, right? Or what I mean is, like, some things feel like completely different, and then other things are happening exactly like how they happened. And the things that they are changing are very interesting. I don't know, watch the show, then the show is so good, go read the comics. So the new special mode they have in today is Rollout. It's nothing but Rollout. Roll out, roll off, and roll on, I think is the third one. I don't know. Honestly, basically every game I play of Fall Guys nowadays has been squad. I guess we'll talk about it a little later. But yeah, I've mostly been playing squad modes. Because, you know, the squad modes are the good modes. Plus, mainly because I have a better chance at winning a crown in squad mode than I do on the normal modes. Which I have gotten, I think it's 2... how was that person grabbing me? I've gotten a few crowns from squads. I mean, it takes 3 wins. But I think And I'm out. Got hit in the head with a watermelon. I didn't even check what the daily rewards are. I'm probably gonna hit the next rank not whatever's after 41. Qualify. Okay, so I can't do the team rounds one. Didn't I just... I guess that doesn't count. Earn at least a silver medal. Because I did technically just get a gold. And the team ones you can't do, which that sucks. Yeah. See, I'm at 34 of 60 right now for the next one. Actually, I was going to go in there because... Oh, let's do some squad. So yeah, I guess let's get started with this all, shall we? My allergies are kicking in bad for me. My nose is completely clogged. It's all messed up. It sucks. It sucks. But yeah, so news-wise, we don't actually have that much to talk about tonight. I mean, a bunch of stuff happens every week in the gaming industry, but how much of it do I actually give a shit about? Like, how much do I actually care about and, like, have a vested interest in or whatever? Not actually that much. But there are a few things I found interesting, so let's talk about them, shall we? So, Nintendo... So, there was an interview with, I want to say Furukawa, who is the president of Nintendo, and he put out... And in this interview, they were talking about, like, the future of Nintendo, and he talked about how he hopes that in the future, Nintendo will focus on new IP as well as established franchises. So right, established franchises are your Zeldas, your Marios, maybe a new Mario Kart. Oh, that would be the dream. But right, a focus on new Nintendo franchises, So right, those established ones, but they also want to focus on new ones. I mean, we've gotten more new Nintendo franchises in the past. We got more new Nintendo franchises in the 2010s than we did the 2000s. In the 2000s, there was, what, Pikmin, the Wii franchise, which we're just gonna, let's just pretend they're all under, like, Wii Sports, Wii Fit... I guess Wii Fit and Wii Sports are kind of like big enough to be their own things in their own way, but also we also have things like Wii Party, Wii Music, that other really bad one. Was Wii Chess one of them? I don't remember. But yeah, and then Pikmin, there had to have been another one, but I couldn't. I mean, does Codename Steam count? Okay, Codename Steam was actually the was the 2010s. God, even with all of us qualifying, that still wasn't enough. So yeah, Nintendo focusing on new IPs is a good thing, because just this the last decade in the 2010s, we had Codename Steam, I guess technically counts. We had... Oh, Xenoblade also is last decade, or, the 2000s. I guess Xenoblade counts. But, like, just in the last decade, just in the... Right, we had... I don't know why I got a silver for that. Okay, whatever. We had Codename Steam, Splatoon, ARMS, Ring Fit Adventure, a bunch of weird other random shit. Oh. That Super Bunny Hop Challenge. I don't know. If Nintendo says they want to focus on new IPs, you know what? I'm fine. Splatoon's a great game. I enjoy Splatoon. I enjoyed Splatoon 2 more. Okay, admittedly, the campaign of Splatoon 2 was worse, but the Octo expansion was better, so I don't know. I guess Splatoon 2 is complicated. Yeah, let's go with that. It's complicated. ARMS is a good game. It's not as good as Splatoon. Like, Splatoon was solid, good ideas, good premise. Splatoon worked really well. ARMS really needed a story mode. Like, mechanically, the game was there, and the game was fun to play. It's just, it relied too heavily on its online. I know there was the Grand Prix mode or whatever. It wasn't, nah. It needed, like, a good, classic, like, right, I remember people joking about, like, oh, poor Nintendo, you finally make an online shooter, and of course you just have to add in a single player mode. Because nobody actually cares about Call of Duty single player modes. I mean, people play them, obviously, but nobody actually cares about them. Like, most of the time I hear people talk about them as the controversy, because, you know, they'll attribute acts of terror done by the US to foreign intelligence instead. Yep, one of the Call of Duties did that. Some war crime America committed, they instead had another country commit, because, yep, that's Call of Duty for you. I don't know, but Splatoon, the original Splatoon, had a good single player, all things considered. Splatoon 2's was fine. But yeah, ARMS needed that single player. Ring Fit Adventure is, from all accounts, a great game. I mean, it sells amazingly. It's sold amazingly well so far. So it must be doing something right, you know? And yeah, so Nintendo trying to make some new IPs, I'm all for it. If Nintendo wants to go with it, yeah. And of course, they're not going to give up on their pre-existing franchises, because Nintendo's always going to make them more. Again, Breath of the Wild 2 is probably later this year, March at the latest, March of next year. And Mario Odyssey 2 is within the next year as well. I can almost guarantee it. Because Mario Odyssey never got any DLC. Now, if only we can get a new Mario Kart 9. We got the numbers, like the sales numbers for March. Mario Kart is like number 3 top selling game still. Or maybe it's in the top 10. We are never... God, I want a Mario Kart 9 so bad. Like, I own Mario Kart 8 now. It's good, and I still really enjoy it. It's just, I wish we had a Mario Kart 9. What's the other guy doing on our team? Oh, you're over here. I want a Mario Kart 9. I want to do... I don't know. I know they can do it, or at least just give us something new, Nintendo. Okay, we're back in 8th. We'll make this round. You suck, though. Yeah, of course Nintendo's gonna focus on their existing franchises. This is an interesting statement, though, when we compare it to what Sony said last week. In the big Bloomberg... Okay, technically Sony never said it, but in the big Bloomberg report that came out last week, it was about Sony no longer wants to take risks, right? They're playing it safe with safe franchises. That seems to be what Sony's doing. Right, that's why, even though The Last of Us 2 isn't even... I think it's 8 years old. 7 or 8 years. It's already getting a remake, even though it doesn't need one. Instead of remaking a Sly Cooper, instead of remaking a Jak and Daxter, instead of remaking the first Uncharted, which would have been an actual... Like, they talked about it, but I guess it wasn't propped. It was going to be too expensive. Instead of remaking a game that actually, like, kind of deserves to be remade, no, they're playing it safe and remaking The Last of Us. And yeah, I guess that just kind of shows... Don't get me wrong, I love Sony. Sony, I think, is right behind Nintendo of, like, making good quality games. Okay, we're not making it through this round. But, yeah, it's gonna be tough to see, yeah, I don't like this idea that Sony's just gonna start playing it safe, because, like, not playing it safe is what got us, was what got Guerrilla Games to make the fantastic Horizon Zero Dawn. God, I need to beat that game one of these days. So, because they were doing, not Red Faction, what game is that? With the Hellgas? Not Red Faction Guerrilla. Not, Splinter Cell. It's... Is it not Warzone? What is that game called? I don't remember, but whatever it is, they took a break from the series, and we got something new from Guerrilla Games. I think it's Guerrilla Games, Guerrilla Studios, whatever. And we got a genuinely great game out of it with Horizon. And I want them. I want Sony to take more risks, right? With what? I mean, supposedly Ben Studio's making a new game, which is good, but that's Ben Studio. I mean, I don't want Sony to play it safe. Because they can make good stuff. I mean, you can play it a little safe, but you gotta focus on a little bit of both, or at least with what you have, take a few risks. Especially because half the time when Sony takes a risk, they take the risk and then they immediately drop it. Vita. I'm still thinking about buying a Vita. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, wow, we actually passed that round. Yeah, and of course people are like, people have been bringing up today the F-Zero thing, where I guess there was an interview with the director of F-Zero, and he said something along the line, do I have it? I had it pulled up a second ago. But he was basically like, before we make a new F-Zero, we need some sort of like grand new idea. Right? Like, we can't just make a new F-Zero, which admittedly echoes what Miyamoto said in the past. Miyamoto said that they're not going to make a new F-Zero until they have a new idea. And of course there's a hypocrisy there that, because people want a new, it's been almost 20 years since the last F-Zero. I mean, it hasn't, but it's been close to it. Ex-Nintendo designer Tayaka Imura says F-Zero isn't dead. Oh god. It's just hard to bring it back without a grand idea. So yeah, F-Zero's not dead, it's just hard to bring back. And I mean, there are so many grand ideas that people have had. I feel like I've heard, according to this, IGN broke this story just earlier today, but I swear I've heard this exact quote before. Not just the Miyamoto one, about how, oh, we'll make a new F-Zero when we have a new idea for F-Zero. Or when we have an original idea, which is, of course, hypocritical because we've got 4 Mario games. 5, actually, with the exact same idea. And to the point that they almost basically recycle content. But yeah, there's so many new... I mean, besides for, like... I know we have Fast Racing RMX. And those games are good. Don't get me wrong. Those games are good. I think. But there's so many ideas for a new F-Zero. Like, come on. Oh, you screwed me over. There are so many good ideas. Like, the one I love is the Battle Royale. Making a F-Zero is all about high-stakes action, right? So the idea of, like, a Battle Royale F-Zero, I think just makes perfect sense. And I'm out. Oh, wow, one of us finished. Yeah. Yeah, Battle Royale. Just having the game go online in general is a big enough idea. F-Zero has been gone for so long that there's never been an online F-Zero game. Yeah, we survived. God, even with me failing, we still made that. I don't think this is a finale, because I think it was 6 teams went into this. So it's going to go into a team game here. Man. It's just interesting. Because I totally get wanting a new one. I'm not really that big of a fan of F-Zero, but if they make a new one, I'd buy and I'd play it. Okay, we're not going to survive past this. Unless literally every other team falls out. Yeah, we aren't making it past this, and that's not going to happen. I'd buy a new F-Zero. F-Zero is... yeah, no, I'd give it the support, especially full... because I want a new Mario Kart. And while I know F-Zero and Mario Kart are very different, I feel like there's potential there. And when I say I want an F-Zero Battle Royale, I want I mean, I still expect the new Splatoon to be a battle royale. Like, why else make a new Splatoon unless you're gonna add in a battle royale mode? Like, seriously, there's no reason to make a new one. The old one's still doing fine. Unless, of course, they're gonna add microtransactions, which, fuck that. I don't know, Nintendo's usually better than that. I mean, I say usually, their mobile games still suck. Yeah, no, it's time for a new F-Zero. It's been... there's been a lot of jokes recently about, Reggie and Mother 3. I don't remember what started it. Was it Jason Schreier? His new book comes out, and Reggie was like, "Oh, what can I do to get a signed copy?" And he responded with, "Oh, you can give me one of the unreleased copies of Mother 3." Or one of, right? And so I think that's what started it, and yeah. People still want Mother 3, and I totally think they should do it. And we know Nintendo has considered it several times. During the Wii U era, they were desperate enough to almost do another Mother game. Or to almost finally do Mother 3. I know some things haven't aged well. Trust me, I know. I still want it though. That's kind of, the game is a legend. It just needs to happen one of these days. But yeah, so I don't know, Nintendo focusing on new IPs? Yeah, sure. Just bring back some of the series you've killed. Nintendo has killed a lot of series. Remake Chibi Robo. Fuck. Remake Chibi Robo. Actually market it. The first one. I don't want any fucking Ziplash bullshit. I don't want Park Patrol. I want the original Chibi Robo remade. Actually market it. Actually give it the attention it deserves. And hopefully it'll sell better than Pikmin. Because it's a really good game. I've played the original Chibi Robo. Oh, it's so just simple and fun, and yeah, it totally have a market. Again, it's not gonna, it might not even, it probably might at most sell 1 million, but if you budget correctly, that's fine. As long as you budget, your middle shelf games are fine, as long as you budget correctly. Do an F-Zero Battle Royale, and I don't want it to be like Tetris. Yeah, those games are fine, they're just not for me. But I want like an actual racing one. Splatoon's gonna have a Battle Royale. It's gotta. I know a lot of people don't like Battle Royale because of Fort Fight. It's a good idea. PUBG was still fun. Fortnite still is in theory fun. I don't know, I haven't played it, so I couldn't tell you. I don't know. Okay, I have played Fort Fight, just not in a long time. That's more of what I meant, is that it's just been a while. We are getting flummoxed here. Yeah, no, I got flummoxed there. We're not all of us have completed, and yeah, we're still in 12. Ugh, that was terrible. So, thinking of Switch, it wasn't like announced, but right now it's most likely going to happen that in the near future there are going to be Switch shortages. There's a processor or whatever, the same thing that's like facing like graphics cards, like, you know, the GTX 980 or whatever. I don't know graphics cards. Never built a computer before. But right, like the same, and well, okay, admittedly graphic cards are also being bought up by people mining Bitcoin, but you know what I'm talking about, right? Graphics card shortages, but there's also processor shortages, right? And the PS4, the PS5, and the Xbox Series X have had graphics shortages, and that's why they're so hard to get, is because there's shortages on these things, and it looks like the Switch is going to come into the same problems. Which, that itself, like the Switch coming into problems like that, I have a Switch, so I shouldn't worry about it. Because more people, I mean, Animal Crossing, I mean, like I said earlier when I mentioned Mario Kart's still one of the best selling games. In the numbers, most of the top games are still Nintendo games. I mean, not all of them. I think Miles Morales is extremely high up there. Minecraft is still is in the top. I think it's like number 9 or 10. But yeah, so Switch shortages, that might be a problem. But my bigger worry is the Switch Pro. Whenever Nintendo makes a new product, they only make 10 of them. If we're having Switch shortages, this new model of the Nintendo Switch is going to be even less of them. Nintendo only makes 10, maybe they'll only make 5. I mean, hopefully I'll be able to get one, but you never fucking know. Because of course the retailers, right, they're not going to put any restrictions. They're just going to, hey, whoever buys them, buys them. And then after like a month or two of people complaining, then they'll finally limit it to 1 per customer. Right? That's how this shit works. Is that they limit it and then it's like, oh, well, 1 per customer. Oh, shit. Because, yeah, and buying Nintendo products is the like, the PS5 is bad right now. I still have had an easier time just thinking about getting a PS5 than it was getting one of the NES Classics. Or getting the SNES Classic. What was another rare Nintendo piece of bullshit that was a pain in the ass to get? The Switch was easy to get. I just the night it all got revealed, I went to or like the next I stayed up all night, and I went to because I streamed the reveal. Then it was announced that, hey, the next morning it's going up at GameStop. So I went in person back when you used to be able to do that, and yeah, I got a Switch, and I was first in line to get one. And yeah. And then on release day, I was also first to get one. Yeah. For the midnight release or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, so this new Switch shortage is worrisome. I don't know. My bigger worry is the Switch Pro, because I've been saving up money for a Switch Pro. Okay, correction, it's my PS4 money. My PS5 money. I'm planning on. I've been saving, and I'm like, yeah, I'm probably just gonna buy a Switch Pro instead. I came in 7th, and if these 3 chuckleheads screw it up, I swear, I do swear. God, they came in 40th. Oh, God, come on, you cat. You cat. Oh. Nope. So, I do have worries about Switch. I mean, if you want a Switch, I can go down to my local Walmart and find a Switch Lite. Those aren't hard to, those haven't been too hard to find. But Switch Pros, I do worry about that, and I still hope, that's not getting revealed until August at the earliest, because we're definitely not hearing about it at E3. I think the earliest we're going to hear about it is August, with possibly a September release date. Or maybe October, but realistically, I've seen Nintendo turn these things around in like a month. So anything is possible. Speaking of Switch Lite, they did announce a new color for the Switch Lite. It's like a blue, but a lot of people have been like, oh, it looks purple. It's blue. It's very clearly blue. It actually reminds me, when I was a kid, my parents, their cars, right? They each had a car. My mother's was falling apart. I'm amazed that thing lived as long as it did. I'm amazed my dad's car lived as long as it did. He had it since I was a kid, and it was my first car. And I had it until, I think I had it until like my junior year of high school. But her car was purple, and his car was blue. And my mother would always argue that her car was blue and his was purple. And hers wasn't like, it wasn't like a light, it wasn't like the same color as this like new Switch. It wasn't like a GameCube color. It was a darker purple. It was more like the purple roses in Animal Crossing. It was a darker shade of purple. And she was always like, it's blue. And no, it was purple. God, yeah, seeing people talk about this new Switch, yeah, that's brought back memories. That's for sure. It's blue though. But I've actually seen a lot of people talking about how, like, you know, it is the GameCube and the Game Boy Advance. A lot of people leave out the Game Boy Advance in this conversation. But it is the system's 20th anniversary. Both those systems. It is their 20th anniversary. Maybe Nintendo should release a game... They can say it's Game Boy Advance colored. Because the Game Boy Advance sold, I want to say 63 million units. Compared to the GameCube's measly 20 million. Say it's Game Boy Advance colors. And yeah. And it'll do fine. I know people... But yeah, right now a lot of people are like, oh, this blue is basically purple. I guess it counts. But it's not... It's blue. But I think a game... Because I had a Game Boy Advance. I've showed it off on stream before, I think. I'm not pulling it out now. It's somewhere in a box. I know for a fact I have. I've made jokes about it. But yeah, my Game Boy... I had a purple Game Boy Advance. I didn't have a GameCube, of course. I was a PS2 guy. The one time I betrayed Nintendo. I don't regret it. I mean, sure, there's a lot of good GameCube games I missed, but also, God, there was some good stuff. But yeah, no, a purple Switch Lite would be really cool. And of course, the Switch Pro, whether it's just an upgraded Switch or it's a console-only thing, I'm expecting it to be black, right? Basically look like the normal Switch. Whether it has colored Joy-Cons, if this new Switch Pro is console only, it's not going to come with Joy-Cons. It's going to come with a Pro controller. I can guarantee you that right now. I personally don't think a Switch Pro is going to be console only, but I've speculated on that possibility before. It's a the thing is, I'm not ruling it out. That's for sure. I was like, am I frozen there? I technically was. But yeah, no, a new, yeah, sure, new color Switch. That's cool. Next up, we have Indie World. So, I want to say, did they announce it Tuesday or did they announce it Monday? Nintendo announced they were doing an Indie World. I love me some indie games. It's basically it's it and a few first party Nintendo games and I guess Fall Guys. Which Fall Guys is technically an indie game, is all I play. That's literally it. Oh, I guess Minecraft. Minecraft also was technically... It is technically it started off as one anyways. But yeah, so I'm always down for an Indie Direct. The last few Indie Directs have been phenomenal. Maybe... I don't remember which one it was, but there was one Indie Direct that just blew me away. It was fantastic. In every game in it was... Oh, fuck. Of course we got the AFK guy. Of course. Every game in that Indie Direct was fantastic. There's only 2 people left. Every game in that Indie Direct was fantastic. I was interested in all of them. And a few of them have come out. I don't remember which... That was a Direct, I think, last year. Maybe late 2019. But I'm pretty sure it was only early 2020. But we got an Indie Direct. And yeah, this one was... Indie Directs... And like I say, that one's really good. But honestly, I've said it before. As long as there is one game you are interested in an Indie Direct, they have knocked it out. They've done it. If you have like more than like, I'll be generous and say 3, then they've knocked it out of the park. Indie games have such a wide variety, right? Like Nintendo Directs and stuff like that are supposed to try to appeal to everybody. Of course, in the process, as we've seen recently, they end up appealing to nobody because Nintendo fans are gluttons who would not be satisfied with all the riches of heaven. But Indie Directs are really good. Of course, a lot of people are probably complaining that, hey, where is Silk Song? Where's Sports Story? They come when they come. They come when they come, and I'm sure when they do, they'll be fantastic. Just make the highest quality game and take as much time as you need. Just remember a good team health. We'll talk about this again later. But remember, the health of your team is important, and yeah, just make a good game. I know a lot of people are probably disappointed, but I don't care. There were a lot of other games that I was interested in. I have written down so many games. And yeah, let's talk about them. This is not everything. This is not everything. This is just what I was interested in. And that's what matters to me. I recommend you watch the Indie Direct for yourself. Go find what you're interested in. This is what I was interested in. And not in some of the stuff I'm not even like super interested in. But I thought I'd talk about it anyways. You know, because I might as well. Okay, I'll show this afterwards. But the first game that I took an interest in was Aerial Knights. So this guy comes out, Aerial Knights, Never Yield. He comes out and he's like, I've wanted to work in the game. We're a Detroit-based studio. I've wanted to work in the game industry. The gaming industry turned me away, so I decided I'll do it myself. And now I'm making Aerial Knights Never Yield. This game's already out on other systems. Like, I know it's already out on Steam, but it's now coming to Switch. And yeah, just what a fucking statement. And yeah, he's totally right. Right? We've seen recently that yeah, people have been told, yeah, we don't want you, or that, right? Like we saw with just a recent example, Activision Blizzard said it would be too hard to hire people of color at their multi-billion-dollar studio where their CEO makes a $20 million bonus, where they had to lay off over 200 employees. Yeah, fuck AAA studios. And yeah, he comes out, and yeah, it's, oh, right, I'll do it myself. So he puts his game on Switch, and then he posted this right afterwards, right, of him getting the Infinity Gauntlet. And just, yeah, you fucking get it. You fucking get it, Aerial Knight. And your game looks fantastic. It's kind of like it's an endless runner style narrative-based rhythm game. And it looks great. It looks great. The art style's good, the music's good. I don't have any release dates written down. I've just got games. And like I said, I know this is on other systems. But yeah, this looks great. You fucking get it. And yeah, I'm totally here for it because the game looks good. Next up is Ollie Ollie World. I played, I want to say Ollie Ollie 2. Okay, I don't play sports games, but I like a good skateboarding game. I also do technically like a good golf game, but... And of course, there's only one good bowling... Okay, 3 good bowling games. Wii Sports Resort, Wii Sports Club. But yeah, no, I have like... I'm a big fan of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater series. I had Skate 3 back in the day. Don't skateboard at all in real life, but hey, skating games are fun. And I picked up Ollie Ollie World, I want to say 2. And it was just... I mean, like, I'm not going to say it's bad, but it wasn't great. Maybe I'd say it's meh. I remember a big problem being the controls. I remember the controls being super annoying. But this new one definitely looks better. It definitely feels more like a Sonic the Hedgehog game. Or at least it looks like it. Oh, also that Aerial Knights Never Yield. Which I also love that it's kind of like he does the Sid Meier's thing of just putting his name in the title. I think it has a demo that came out today, or came out when the Indie World happens. I haven't played it. I probably should get around to that. But yeah, what was I? Oh yeah, Ollie Ollie World. This game, not only does it look better, because yeah, it definitely feels more Sonic the Hedgehog inspired with like multiple paths and whatnot, but hopefully it controls better. And there's like story missions, and I love the new art style and everything. It just all around looks like a better game. I think, because I know there is an Ollie Ollie World game on Switch. I think it's called Ollie Ollie Switched or whatever. But Ollie Ollie World looks good. I think this, after some trials and tribulations, this is what, I think like their 4th game. I don't know what Switch, I didn't even know there was a game on Switch. But yeah, this might be the one that finally like gets it. That finally is the good game. We'll just have to wait and see. Next up is The Longing. So this is about like, you're like this little like servant imp thing, and you're waiting for your master to wake up, and he'll wake up in like 400 days. And the way it looks like is there's like an in-game counter that like is based on like real days. And of course that makes me instantly want to see like a slow run where someone just plays the game for 400 days. But yeah, no, it's your master will awaken in 400 days, and there's probably like tasks and whatnot you can do to explore that'll like fill up your time and whatnot as you get closer to the 400 days. I don't know, it looks really interesting. I've heard about this game before. But yeah, no, it looks good. And I don't know, I don't really know if I'll be buying any games anytime soon. I mean, because the problem is my Switch is still... admittedly, I played... we'll talk about it later, but I played Dicey Dungeon. And the Switch, I played it for like an hour or two. Not hot at all. So clearly, I can still play indie games. So, yeah. Next up, we got a new trailer for TMNT Shredder's Revenge. I was not a Ninja Turtles kid. Ninja Turtles were a little before my time. Same thing with like Transformers and whatnot. Even though I did watch one of the later Transformers series. Not the original, but like one of the later ones. It was just a little before my time. So I was never big in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I never watched the movie, right? There was that CGI movie in the early 2000s. I remember seeing it, and I think I own it on DVD still. But it just wasn't for me. But hey, I know people love Turtles in Time. Personally, I always think of the Angry Video Game Nerds Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ones. With right, that's what, for some reason, when I think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video games, maybe even just Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in general, I think of the stupid the AVGN stuff. And yeah, I don't know, it looks good. It's got some good pixel art and everything. I won't pick it up because yeah, I don't really play beat 'em ups anymore. I've never really have. I don't play sides games like that. I don't know, because like I didn't even pick up the new Scott Pilgrim or the remake, even though I was totally interested. I just didn't pick it up. Next up, there's one called There Is No Game. It's like There Is No Game : Dimension Flux or something like that. That's a game that I think is already out on Steam. I think it is actually pretty good from what I've heard. Did that get a demo? I don't know. I feel like I remember something on it like coming out rather soon. But yeah, it looks pretty... It's like an adventure game sort of thing. It looks pretty good, all things considered. Oh, we're in the final 2. Oh, this last shark is what screwed us. Yeah, no, we're in the final 4, and yeah, we need to place top 2. But yeah, no, There Is No Game. It's like this weird adventure game, and I heard it's actually, and from people who've played it on, because I think Steam's out. I remember hearing that it's good, right, from people reacting to the direct. That yeah, same thing with the Aerial Knights Never Yield. That yeah, it's good. So yeah, I'm sure that's good. Hey, we got the last thing. I am ranking up the monies. In the experience. I mean, I know I got a bunch of bonus there from doing the challenge, but yeah. I actually really like. Well, I hate there are some daily challenges that you can only do with multiple people. I do like the daily challenges. It has definitely freshened things up since the new season has started. Next up is Chris Tales. It's like Crystal, and this it's an RPG, and I don't. God, I have too many RPGs to play. I still need to play Eichenfeld. Oh God, I heard it's good. I have so many RPGs to play. But this one, I love the art style. CRIS Tales, TALES, Crystal, and it has a beautiful art style, just all around. Characters, world, cutscene, it all looks fantastic. It's a beautiful game. Is this the one that comes out this year, or is this? There's one game. Maybe it was the Aztec one. That's not the Aztec one's not for me. I need to get some more water. Yeah, there's one of these games that's coming out like next year, but most everything was this year. But yeah, this Chris Tales one looks beautiful. So again, I don't know how, because even like that one indie direct that I say I loved, how many of those games did I actually picked up? I know I picked up a few of them, but I don't. So yeah, I don't know. It's just, I have so much trouble with RPGs. I can't. My perfect gaming experience is, nowadays, is Donut County, Untitled Goose Game. A fun little 2 to 3 hour game that I can play, beat in like a day, take another day to get all the achievements or whatever, to get all the bonus objectives. And yeah, and then maybe replay it like in like a year time. Which we are going to be talking about one of those today. Later today in WIBE. We're going to be talking about one of those. Yeah, next up is Skull the Hero Slayer. So this is a roguelike. At least it looks like a roguelike. It's also out on Steam. And it looks good. Like, I love the art style. The pixel art's beautiful on it. I like the mechanic about, like, switching out skulls. Because were there 90 or 60? I admittedly don't remember off the top of my head how many there were. But yeah, it's a roguelike, and I love Dead Cells, and I loved Hades. But the thing is, I don't want to, I like roguelikes, but I also don't, correction, I like roguelites, not roguelikes. There is technically a difference. Because Dead Cells and Hades are roguelites, while a game like Binding of Isaac, which just got its new DLC, last week, is a roguelike. The difference is progression. And yeah, so, I don't know. I'm definitely not picking up that Binding of Isaac DLC, because, well, I do like that game. It's just, nah. I love the card games getting a new expansion, a Kickstarter, I think in like a month or two. And I'm definitely picking that up, because the Binding of Isaac card game is a phenomenal. Really, it's so much better than I was expecting it to be. Yeah, this Skull, the Hero Slayer, it looks pretty good. It's, I don't know, I don't want to worry, I don't want to dedicate myself to just, I just keep coming back to Dead Cells and Hades. And, I could just add a new game into the rotation. It's not that big of a deal, but I don't know. Next up, so this was one that surprised me. So way back in the mystic year of, sometime in the late 2000s, Phil Fish released a game called Fez. And it was a phenomenon. This game was fucking huge. For an indie, this is one of the indie, and Phil Fish is an indie game. The movie, right? This is technically the modern concept of an indie game technically starts with Cave Story. There is, in the early 2000s, or in the late 2010s, there is sort of an indie game renaissance, and that really kicks things off. Back in the day, with when Nintendo said they didn't want indie games on their platform, because they wanted games by more published developers, right? More experienced developers. That's a real quote by Nintendo, by the way. like, they actually did say that they didn't want indie games on their platform. Seriously, during the Wii days, look it up. That's a real fact. You can Wikipedia that. But yeah, there was a game called Fez, and it was huge, and I had it on Xbox when I eventually got a 360, and I played it. I don't remember beating it ever, but it was big. And then there was hey, Phil Fish is working on Fez 2, and then all of a sudden one day, I this is how I remember the story. It was I knew who Phil, I'd played Fez. I was like, hey, this is pretty good, right? And like, I didn't know anything about Phil Fish or anything. That was just, right, me as a younger person, that was all I knew, is that, hey, Fez was a game, it's a really good game, and it's made by this guy called Phil Fish. I don't even know if I knew Phil Fish's name. And then one day I was scrolling through the internets and I see a video, I think it was by Total Biscuit. Yeah, the late Total Biscuit, about, hey, Fez 2 has been canceled. And I was like, what? Oh, Fez was so good. Oh, that sucks. And then I moved on. And it wasn't until, like, I don't know, like 2017, 2018, that I was kind of like, I was thinking about it, and I was like, whatever happened to Fez 2? Like, why did it get canceled? Whatever happened? So I looked it up, and I found out, I guess Phil Fish, for those who don't know, Phil Fish was like the king of bad takes on Twitter. He was good at his job. He made a damn good game. He was cocky. The famous quote from him is that nowadays would get him canceled, even though, again, cancel culture really doesn't exist. And let's not go into the whole Lindsay Ellis thing, which I did watch that video. I watched that. I had it on in the background while playing Fall Guys, or maybe I was playing. No, I was playing Dicey Dungeon, actually. Correction. And I watched that entire Lindsay Ellis's video about her being canceled. And I watched it. I just had it on in the background, and no, I thought it was good. I mean, I don't think it's perfect by any means, but I totally get it. I totally get what she's saying in that. Oh, wow. Oh, shit. We're out. I fell in. Goodness. Yeah. But yeah, so Phil Fish, right, at one point he said that the Japanese gaming industry is dying and shit like that, and that got him in a lot of trouble, right? He just had a lot of bad takes. He was cocky because he made a good game, and eventually, yeah, he had enough with it. He left Twitter, and he canceled Fez 2. The story's a little bit more complicated than that. I recommend, because I don't think it's definitely more complicated than that, and like a lot of it, like the way people look at it now, frames Phil Fish as like the super villain, when it's a lot more gray than that, because everything is always more gray than that. But hey, all of a sudden Fez is being re-released on Switch. I might pick it up again. I don't plan to at the moment, but hey, I never beat it, so maybe it's finally time I go in and beat Fez, because I know it's a good game. So we got this highlight reel at the end. Fez was in it, because yeah, they didn't do a segment on Fez. It was just, hey, guess what, it's coming to Switch, and it's available today. I don't remember, there was like 1 or 2 games, or there were like 2 or 3 games that were available today. The only one I remember is Fez. I think The Longing is available today as well. I think that was the other one. But there was a game in this highlight reel called Kiwi, like Keywe, and it's like a puzzle game. I think it might even support multiple people, but you play as like a little kiwi, right? Like the bird, and that looks really cute. Of course, in actuality, kiwis are actually quite big. But like, if you just like saw pictures of them, they definitely don't look like it. But they are actually quite big. And yeah, it's like a cute little puzzle game thing. If I remember it in like 6 months, or when it eventually comes to Game Pass, I'll play it in a heartbeat, easily. But I don't know, it looked kind of cute. And then, of course, every one of these shows has to end on something big. I know it's an indie game presentation, but you always, no matter what, and this is something more and more people are learning, you always have to end on something big. It took Sony a while to... Nintendo figured... It took Nintendo a few years to figure this out. A lot of people like are so used to like the one last reveal at a Nintendo Direct. That wasn't always the case. It took Nintendo a while to learn that. And then they did, and then they learned it again with Indie Directs, right? I mean, because we've had big... Silksong, I don't think was an end direct reveal, but I know Axiom Verge 2 was, and that's a big deal, that Axiom Verge 2. And we haven't heard anything about that in a while, either. At least I don't think we have. But yeah, so, right, you gotta always end on something big. It's a lesson Nintendo's learned. It's a lesson Sony has learned. It's a lesson Bethesda has learned. It's a lesson Activision Blizzard hasn't learned. And it took Sony a while to get it as well. But yeah, so our big ending reveal was Oxenfree 2. The, like, Oxenfree 2 Lost Signal. I have never played Oxenfree. I'll just say it. I've definitely heard of the game before. It's one of those, right, Oxenfree, Thimbleweed Park, Night in the Woods, is that what that one's called? I've heard of those games, but I've never actually played any of them. And yeah, and so this, getting a new Oxenfree is a big deal. Of course, people would have preferred probably like a Silksong or something like that, but, you know, an Axiom Verge 2 is a big reveal still, or an Oxenfree 2 is a big reveal, because that game, I've heard of it, definitely. And yeah, so that's cool for anyone interested. I've never played the first one. Maybe one of these days I'll get around to it. Who knows? I don't know. I admittedly don't play that many adventure games. Like, I don't know. I much like how I said I missed the boat with some of the, like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I kind of missed the boat with adventure games. Like, I didn't have a computer that could run the LucasArts games, the old LucasArts, like Day of the Tentacle or whatever, back in the day, or King's Quest, or any of the good ones. So yeah, I was kind of a little late to the party on that. It just happens, and I don't know. I know I've played one or two adventure games. Well, okay, that's actually a fucking lie. I did have Putt Putt Joins the Parade as a kid. I had Putt Putt Joins the Parade, and I had one of the Freddy Fish games. I couldn't tell you which one. Yeah, and then I had some of the PopCap stuff early on, but that's not adventure games, technically. Like Insane Aquarium, one of my favorite games of all time, Insane Aquarium. God, what a fun game that was. But yeah, so I don't know. I've never really gotten into adventure games, and I think it's like that. The There Is No Game it's an adventure game, and so that doesn't really appeal to me. But I don't know. There's always time for you to get into a genre, right? I mean, the only genre I've personally ever like given up on is rhythm games, and that's because I don't have rhythm. Oh, come on, yes. Yeah, I don't got rhythm. I didn't even get stuck in a Metronome Factory. I just never had it. God, I fucking love that song. And yeah, that's where the Indie Direct ended. I mean, there's a few other games I didn't mention. And yeah, overall, it's a pretty great Direct. A lot of those things interest me. I probably will only ever pick up like 2 or 3 of them, but hey, you know, I'll take what I can get. It's an indie world. As long as there's one thing you like, then you win. 'Cause yeah. And I know, and of course there's always going to be the crybabies who are like, I didn't buy a Nintendo Switch to play indie games. Well, I did, so fuck off. I need some water. I'm out. We don't have much left. Can I get back before this timer runs out? Give me a second. Oh fuck, I barely made it. Oh god. It scared the shit out of me. Yep. Didn't worry about ice or anything, just grabbed water and got back. So yeah, that was the indie world. Yeah, really good. Now, I know a lot of people... It's funny, because after the indie world happened, of course, it wasn't indie world... I mean, a few of the games trended. And, of course, Silk Song, obviously, because, yeah. But yeah, of course, it wasn't indie world that was trending after the Direct. Nope, it was, Nintendo Direct. And, yeah... Of course, I'm sure Nintendo Direct was trending just because people were talking on Indie World. And I'm sure, like, as Nintendo Direct was trending, people were like, well, we might as well just keep using Nintendo Direct. Even though we know it's Indie World, because that's the term that's trending, and Twitter is all about clout chasing, right? It makes sense. As dumb as it is. But yeah, I don't know. As far as I know, people are satisfied with it, right? Overall, yeah, people seem to be pretty satisfied. And yeah. It's an indie world. Anyone who expected more... Anyone who... If you didn't like a single game in it, then what games do you even like? Like, if there wasn't a single thing that you even found mildly interesting, then I don't know what to tell you. Do you like games? Of course, there's those people who only play Call of Duty, and I can't save you. Obviously. Oh, you poor unfortunate souls. Yeah, no, I liked it. I thought the indie world was pretty good. Next up, let's talk a little bit about some Minecraft, shall we? So, it was... Was this Wednesday? I think this was also the same day as the indie world. It was, hey, there's a new Minecraft announcement from Mojang. And it was like, what's this? They have delayed the Caves and Cliff update. They haven't... Well, okay, they haven't delayed it in, like, the traditional way. They aren't delaying it until, like, holiday. Instead, they're splitting the update up into 2 updates. The first one is going to be all about, like, adding in, like, new creatures and new blocks and whatnot. Right, so, like, things like goats. Yep, that's the first half of the new update. And the second half of the new update is about adding the new biome stuff. So, right, the new deeper worlds, higher worlds... we don't know about the skulk stuff. Like, is the new skulk biome and the warden? Which update's that going to be in? Because it's technically a mob, but its new biome and spawning ground are going to be deep down, like within the world, right? They're going to be deep down in the deep slate. We don't know about that yet. Yeah, the update's been split into 2. Of course, like, axolotls are going to come in as the new thing. They're adding copper to the world. Presumably, they're going to add in the axolotl biome as part of it. Even though, again, they're shaking up all the world generation terrain changes and all that. I'm actually surprised this is getting delayed. Because if you've been following the snapshots like I have, they've actually been making... They were ahead of it as far as I thought. They were doing a fantastic job, and it did look like, yeah, this was all gonna come out on time. Like, I personally thought summer was right. That was a little like, hey, there's a lot of changes here, and not all of, like, the new ore changes we didn't even know about before like 2 weeks ago. But yeah, so I was kind of surprised that this was getting delayed, because yeah, the new world height is technically already in the game. So that's kind of what surprised me, honestly. But, you know, the new world, you know, them delaying it is not a bad thing. Not in the slightest. The big they talk about how, right, they want to make sure the game is quality. That the game is up to quality standards. And, yep, that's good, right? You know, the, insert the Miyamoto quote here about bad game being, bad forever, even though that's not true anymore, because, you know, games can patch themselves into being good. Admittedly, there's only one example, No Man's Skies, of a game doing that, but it is theoretically possible. So that's the first part. But the part I'm more interested in, personally, is about team health. That they care more about the health of the team. Crunch is a major problem in the industry, as we've seen with studios like CD Projekt Red, Activision Blizzard, Rockstar. I'm sure there are others. I see Ubisoft definitely, but like I'm sure other studios have gotten reported for crunch, but I can't think of any off the top of my head. Because, you know, I don't want to accuse a studio that technically hasn't been accused yet, even though a lot of them are probably guilty of it. Oh god, I was doing so good there for a second. Yeah, so it's team health in, like, not crunching, just taking their time to make the update the best it can be, because this is easily the biggest change in any Minecraft update. And yeah, that's true. This is the biggest change in any Minecraft update. So them taking their sweet-ass time on it and making sure their team has a healthy workload is something I completely... Yep, I'm fine with it. That alone, like, I was impressed with the progress they were making, which is why the delay originally caught me off guard. But I'm fine with them taking a delay if that's what they need to make the highest quality game and to keep team health on the rise and everything. Yep. Because, yeah, no, I was surprised. Because, right, the Deep Slate, you can load up a snapshot. I mean, admittedly, now you need to use a data pack to do it. But you could have loaded up a snapshot. The Deep Slate's already in there. Nope, all of our team's out. God damn it. I screwed up. Yeah, no, the Deep Slate's already in there. They've been adding a lot of new blocks and everything. They were making phenomenal progress, and I felt like they were closer than they appeared. And I wonder if part of it is... The big thing for me is probably getting old worlds to work with the new world generation system. That's, I bet, a big part of it. I would not be surprised if they create a converter of some sort. But yeah, that, because I think Agnes mentions in the video that she's had her Minecraft world for 10 years or something like that. I don't have a Minecraft world that's that old. My oldest world is probably like 4 years old. All of my original Minecraft worlds are long gone, and I don't have them. I don't have backups of them anymore. I've lost a good... I did on flash drives, and then I've lost a good flash drive or two over the years. Plus, my original account got destroyed. It got nuked, so yeah. I don't... like, but it's like Pokemon, right? It's... They want to preserve it the same way people want to bring their old Pokemon into the new world. People want to preserve their Minecraft worlds. And yeah, so I get that. I get where they're coming from on that front. And that's, I don't, and like, of course, part of me is like, oh, maybe there's like some, they say that there's no, I don't think they say, but they pretty much imply that there's no big, like, we're not, even though we're delaying the update, we don't plan on adding like any big new changes to the game. Or like, we're not planning, like, they specifically say that, archaeology has been delayed. Because they hinted at archaeology, they showed off archaeology at Minecon. And honestly, I didn't think archaeology looked that interesting, personally. Like the whole brushing off the sand and getting the little pots to put on clay pots. That wasn't really doing it for me, but that's just me personally. I don't know, I didn't really find interest in it. Maybe there'll be something cool with the system. But I wonder if there is, because, right, there are things in these updates that they just don't tell us about. And I wonder if there is more things that that have always been planned for the update, but have just never been known to the public. Like that thing with the iron ore, right? Iron ore getting changed from being, you just get the block, to getting like a new iron ore that you still have to smelt and everything. I wonder if there are more changes like that we don't know about. And then, of course, there's the Warden, which is the new boss. But yeah, so overall, take as much time as they need. Any complaining I do is just like, it's just me doing it. I'm perfectly fine with doing them, right? I think it's for the best. It does. The thing I'm going to complain about, which again, it's not really beating me up or anything, but I had planned, like, I've talked before about how, like, I have like a family realm, or like me and my family, because I like that one South Park episode, I taught my parents Minecraft, and because it's a game that, hey, everyone in the family can play because it's so accessible and it's so versatile, and we were planning on starting up a new realm when the new update came out in the summer and people have more time and everything. That was the plan. And now with the new summer update not coming out, that's not going to happen anymore. I mean, we'll probably still do it anyways. It just won't be as cool as it could have been. You know? I don't know. Again, I'm still glad they are delaying. Right? Them delaying and focusing on team health above all else is, yeah, no, it's good. The delay, that's a good thing. That's a good reason to delay it. Yeah, next up, we got Resident Evil Village. So, we got some more information about this. Of course, you know, people are horny on main for Lady Demetrius, or whatever her name is. I don't know. And we also got some information. I skimmed over the information. I know there was some stuff about, like, Resident Evil 4 in VR, I think, or there's a new Resident Evil series on Netflix. I think it's animated, and it's going to be about because in Resident Evil 4, Chris protects Claire Redfield, the president's daughter, and so it looks like there's going to be a new Resident Evil show which is about him protecting the president, right, her father. That sounds interesting. Right, we got some more information on Resident Evil 8, which I think there's a new demo coming out. I don't know. I've only ever played Resident Evils 4 and a little bit of 7. That's it. That's the only Resident Evils I've played. I want to play the remake of 2. Don't really care for the remake of 3, but I've heard the remake of 2 was really good. Oh, come on. Whatever. Some other people are... I saw a game of this one time, of Jump Club, where everybody got eliminated. It was in a squad mode, and it was just... the luck was not on our side. And all of us, it was all like 20 or 30 of us, got eliminated. It was brutal. I was the last one. And even still, it got to me eventually as well. It was brutal. But yeah, so we got some new Resident Evil information. I don't know. Did they mention Resident Village is in VR? Because I swear they mentioned Resident Evil 4 is going to be in VR. Because we're getting a remake of Resident Evil 4. Another game more worthy of a remake than The Last of Us. Has someone started a Twitter account that is games more worthy of a remake than The Last of Us? Should I go start that Twitter account? There's enough stupid fucking gimmick Twitter accounts. The best gimmick Twitter account is the Can You Pet the Dog one. That one's pretty good. Oh, that, and I guess the Save You Click video game one, that, like, just is like, hey, you don't want to read these bullshit news articles, here's just a single clip, right, here's like a screenshot or like a single sentence that sums up all their bullshit, and then all they do is like Art of Daisy. That's pretty funny. That's like integral lore. Yeah, that's pretty good. But yeah, I don't know, it's Resident Evil. I I don't know. I know not all Resident Evil games are good, but there have been some good ones. And I heard 7 was good. And from what I played of 7, yeah, it seemed pretty good. I don't know. I just added it on here because that happened last night. And yeah, sure. I don't know. I need to get around to because one of the reasons I bought a PS4 was to play with the Resident Evil 2 remake. That was like, I had like, when thinking about like buying a PS4, I had like a list of games I wanted to play, and one of them was Resident Evil 2 remake. Admittedly, I have the same thing for the PS5, and now that I've played Bug Snacks, well, and Astrobot, I guess, that's it. I mean, I still want to play Miles Morales, but like nothing else has come out. There was one, I guess, Demons. I don't know. I've never played Dark Souls. I'll get around to it one day. God, not on stream though. Definitely not on stream. Because that sounds like a nightmare. Of course I hit the bar. Shoot. So I guess it's time for WIBE. Today there was more news today. Like there was some stuff about E3 and like how Ubisoft's planning their show. There was some other stuff, of course. We've been talking about E3 a lot. I don't know. But yeah, so let's talk. What have I been doing? So I have been playing Fall Guys, right? I've gotten a few more crowns. I bought the Shovel Knight costume because, duh, of course I did. Oh, we can't. Oh shit, we're stuck waiting on that. Yeah. I bought the Shovel Knight costume, of course, I bought, and because I love me some Shovel Knight. I don't think it's gonna replace my Chicken Man. My main costume is still Chicken Man, and I think I'm gonna keep Chicken Man. But hey, the new costume, the Shovel Knight costume's pretty good. I need to replay Shovel Knight. I can't believe that banana came straight for me. God, I did terrible, but hey, we qualified. Yeah, I've been playing Fall Guys. I've won a few more mostly through the Squadron stuff. Like, I've won a few Squadron games. It was funny. I played for like another like 20-30 minutes after the stream last week. And like 2 games after we finished last week, I won. We won in a team. I think I won in a game of, was it Jump Club? I don't remember. We won in one of them. I don't remember. But I played some like main show, right? Single player just on my own, screwing around. And I actually won my first game, non-squad mode of the year, basically. Because I don't think I've won a single game this year. Okay, not including the April Fool's stuff. Not including the April Fool's stuff. I had not won a single game this year. But yeah, I won a game of hexagons. We both fell off at the same time. And they landed in the pink goo before I did. So they got eliminated first, and I managed to win a game. And I just won a straight up crown. So yeah, I won a game of Fall Guys. That's pretty great. That was great. And yeah, I've been playing this game, like, since I've had the PS4 set up down here for, in chat, I have been playing more Fall Guys than ever. I usually what happens is I'll put on a podcast, or, right, I'll listen to a podcast live or whatever, like the RT podcast or, Off Topic or whatever, and I'll play some Animal Crossing. I'll do the daily Animal Crossing, because again, I've played every day. I've cut it close more than once. More than once have I almost missed it. But, yeah, no, I've played Fall Guys every day, or Animal Crossing, and yeah, for the past week, I've basically played Fall Guys every day. And it's been a really good time, because Fall Guys is a really good game. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm probably going to hit max rank again. I mean, that's kind of surprising, but yeah, that's probably going to happen. That'll probably not happen on stream, obviously, but yeah. And yeah, I'm still playing Animal Crossing, of course. Yeah. What else? I played, did we talk about, did we talk about that last week? Let me look it up. Last week. No, we did not. Okay, that's kind of, okay, whatever. I don't know. For some reason, I've been feeling about playing Dicey Dungeon again. Right? Because there's another roguelike roguelike. And because same thing with like Slay the Spire. I was just kind of like thinking about it again. Yeah, we got eliminated. Yeah, whatever. Today, I mean, I'm never going to get a win on stream, obviously. Whatever. But yeah, for some reason, I was like, you know what? I kind of want to play Dicey Dungeon again. So, I sat down, because I was like, yeah, you know, the Switch works fine enough. I put on that Lindsay Ellis video, because that's like almost 2 hours long, and I was like, yeah, I'll put that on in the background, and I'll play a few rounds of Dicey Dungeon. And it's still a great game. And yeah, I enjoyed that. I played a few rounds. I need to play more. But it's really fun. I had a lot of, for basically 2 hours, just playing Dicey Dungeon. Yeah, I had a good time. It was, I've basically been stuck in a bunch of places. And one of the campaigns, there's like one where it's like, you have a curse. And what curse means is like there's a chance that when you do a move, your move just doesn't happen, right? It fails. And curse really fucking sucks. And I have had some terrible luck with curse. But so this run had been like screwing me over. But I was like, yeah, you know what? Let's try it. Let's try this curse run. Let's see how this goes. And I had much better luck. I mean, I still got screwed over once or twice where it was like I was close to death. But at the end of the day, no, it all worked out and I was able to beat the run. And yeah, it worked out pretty well. And then I don't remember whose run that was. But there's a thief run that I just cannot win. I just take my dice rolls I must have tried it like 3 times. And my dice rolls have just been terrible. And like the whole gimmick of the run, which is about like stealing stuff, I just cannot get to work. I'm just like, I'm barely getting enough dice rolls to survive as is. What makes you think I can get enough to like steal stuff? Especially when the enemy's getting great dice rolls. And then I did a witch run, which was going really well until like the enemy before the boss, which just screwed me. Like, it just got some really lucky rolls. Because I had, like, I did my run with the witch, and I had, like, the cards lined up in my favor. I had this great strategy. It was working fantastic. And yeah, and then this guy just got a bunch of good rolls and, like, poisoned the hell out of me. And that was it. And yeah, I was taking, like, 10 poison damage a turn. Nothing I could do about it. And yeah, so that's how I lost that one. But yeah, I still enjoyed the hell out of it. I only won like 2 runs. But yeah, I'm still enjoying the hell out of it. It's still a good game. I'll never beat it, obviously. Like, I mean, yeah, I'll never beat it. Unlike same thing with Slay the Spire. I'll never beat it. I'll never even get fucking close, but it's a good game, and you're right, the journey is more important to me than the destination. In roguelikes, anyways, the journey is more important than the destination. Unlike roguelites, where those games are usually designed for you to get to the ending. Dead Cells, Hades, they're designed in a way where they want you to eventually get to the ending. Whether it takes 1 or 1,000 runs, they're designed to get you to the end. Whereas roguelikes don't care. Never get to the end, who cares? No, Dicey Dungeons has been really good. And then, so I saw Wario64, right, who I've followed for years now, and I've spoken his praises. He'll tweet out, like, hey, here's some new stuff, here's some stuff that's on sale. And I saw him tweet out that, like, hey, the new Game Pass games are up. And I was looking at the new, and I have Game Pass, so I was like, hey, what's new? And I saw this game called Rain on Your Parade, which is like this little game where you, like, play as a rain cloud. And I was like, that looks kind of cute. I bet that's like a 2 to 3 hour game that I can just sit down, have a quick little good time with. Right? Like I mentioned earlier, games like Donut County or Untitled Goose Game. Just a good 2 to 3 hour experience that I can sit down, have some fun with in like beat in a single day, maybe spend another day on achievements. And yeah, that looks all around like some good fun. So it went up on Game Pass. I downloaded it. It took forever to download because, of course, I haven't turned the Xbox on in like a few weeks, so it had like a bunch of updates to get to first. Stupid fucking Xbox. Stupid fucking games that I don't give a shit about. But I eventually downloaded it and I played it, and you know what? Yeah, no, it's a really fun little cute game. It's on Game Pass. I think it's on Switch and PC, not on PS4. But yeah, no, I recommend it. It's you can beat it, especially if you have Game Pass, where you've already got Game Pass. You might as well just download it. You can beat it in, I think I beat it in about 3 hours. I put some podcasts on in the background and just played it casually. I'll be honest, I don't think it's as good as the prior two mentioned games, Donut County or Untitled Goose Game, but I still enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it's worth. And, yeah, it was really cute. There's a bunch of references. Like, there's a level early on that's a reference to Metal Gear Solid. And there's this massive section that's a reference to A Link to the Past. And so I'm doing this Link to the Past segment. And all of a sudden I get into the overworld. And the music starts up and I'm like, this music is so familiar. What the fuck is this music? Oh my god, this is so familiar. I tried looking it up. I tried like using like the Google Assistant, because you can like tell those things like, hey, what's this song? And kind of like Shazam, and they'll like tell you. Got me nothing. So I was like, oh my god, this is gonna drive me crazy. Like 20 minutes into it, 20 minutes later, I realized it's there's a channel called CF Gaming who makes some great content. A lot of like Nintendo analysis stuff. Admittedly, I haven't been watching them recently because they've been talking about Bowser's Fury, and I've been waiting to play Bowser's Fury first. But they do a lot of great Nintendo content. I don't always agree with all of it, admittedly, but it's overall some great stuff. And in his videos, he has like an intro song, and his intro song is the music they use for the overworld in this game. It took me forever to realize. But yeah, the overworld music in this game is CF Gaming's intro song. And yeah, it's a really good game. I don't think it's as good as, say, like a... Yeah, I don't think it's as good as others, because basically you're just playing this, like, rain cloud, and this rain cloud's on his journey to Seattle, right? A place where it always rains. And the rain cloud is admittedly kind of a dick, and he, right? Like, the first level has you raining on somebody's wedding, which is kind of funny. But yeah, and it's just all about you raining on people's parades and everything, and you do literally rain on a parade. And yeah, there's a bunch of, like, referential humor, since, you know, there's the Twitter account, Can You Pet the Dog? But you're a cloud, you can't pet anything. So in one level, there's a dog, and you rain hands to pet the dog. There's another level where you rain bread, and, like, it attracts, like, pigeons, and the pigeons poop on people. There's a bunch of, like, little challenges to complete throughout the level. Once you beat the game, you unlock a whole new set of challenges. Like, every level, almost, has, like, its new set of challenges. There's the achievements, of course. It is one of those games that, like, you start up the game and you get an achievement for turning the game on. yeah, no, it's a cute little thing, and you get like other power-ups. Like there's a power-up that allows you to do snow. There's a power-up that allows you to do lightning. There's some fun levels. There are some levels that pissed me off. Like there's some levels where you have to like beat the level within a time limit and without taking damage. And that drove me crazy. Trying to do that drove me crazy, but I did do it. And the only achievement so I beat the game yesterday. I played it all last night, beat it. Today I came in and I did all the achievements except for one. So in the game, there's a level. So there's like right on top of all like the traditionally designed levels, like rain on everybody in this wedding, rain on everybody at the pool, right? Strike these people with lightning. There are some levels that are like, hey, like rack up as many points as possible. Oh, do as many as like of these specific challenges in as short amount of time as possible. Rack up combos. Oh, rain on as many people with as little amount of water as possible. Some cute challenges. One of the challenges is about not moving. Right? It's like basically just don't press anything. And the longer you don't press anything, well, right, you basically every second adds a little bit to your score. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cute, right? Just like, oh, don't press anything. There is an achievement for not pressing anything on that level for an hour. And I was like, okay, well, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go I'm going to load up the level, and then I'm going to walk away. I'm going to go watch Falcon and Winter Soldier, right, the new episode, which was an hour long, and then I'll come back, and I'll have the achievement. I walked away. So it's a point I walked back. I came back about an hour later. My controller, I guess, had turned off. So there was a message on screen that's like, press A to reconnect the controller. And it stopped at, I want to say around like 864 points or something like that. So divide that by 60. It lasted 14 minutes before turning off. So if I want to and I need it to go for an hour. So I'm like, okay, well, you know what? It's not that bad. Hey, look, it's Jinxed. I was talking about this, I think, last week. Oh, God, am I starting off for the... Oh, we're fucked. If I'm starting off for our team, which I think I am. Yeah. But yeah, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna... Right, well, okay, so my controller disconnected. It's no big deal, right? I'll just turn it back on. And I'll press A to, like, reconnect the controller. And then I'll just go from there. The thing is, though, it didn't... the second I hit A to reconnect the controller, it ended the level, because the levels don't press anything. So I had to press A to reconnect the controller, and the level ended. So that fucking sucked. And now I have to redo it all over again. But I got every other achievement. They're pretty manageable, all things considered. I cannot get this. I'm terrible at this. Luckily, our other guy's pretty good, but... Oh, come on. Oh, shit! We won that. Okay, I did nothing. I'm a terrible Jinxed. I'm actually a pretty good dodger, usually, but I'm a terrible Jinxed. Yeah. But yeah, Rain on Your Parade was, yeah, for a Game Pass game, I didn't pay for, because, yeah, I already have Game Pass. It was totally worth it. Qualify two round team rounds, 2? You know, that's, I guess, okay. Is that another? Yeah, that's another crown. Wow, we actually won a crown tonight. Cool. Yeah, that was good. It's a good, fun, that Rain on Your Parade is a really fun little game. Yeah. When I saw team rounds, for some reason, there is one that's like qualify as a party, And that's what I thought that was. Huh, I'll take a crown, though. But yeah, right on your... Yeah, if you've got Game Pass, yeah, totally pick it up. It's a cute... You can beat it in 3 hours. This one achievement sucks, but getting all the others... Yeah, no, they were all pretty easy. There were some that were secret. There was one where it's like... So there are these guys who hold, like signs that say, like, I love clouds. And there's an achievement to, like, rain on all of them. And I was like, okay, I've missed, like, 1 or 2 of them, but I don't know which ones I've missed. So I guess I have to replay every level to find out which ones I've missed. And then, of course, there were a few hiding in the overworld as well. I was only... And that was a pain in the ass, but I got that one. And yeah, I don't think there was an achievement for replaying every level on New Game Plus, but I did it anyways, because, you know, I don't play that many new games, so... And this game only took 3 hours to beat, and I think getting all the achievements again, or redoing all the levels only took, like, another 3 hours. And of course, this last achievement, it reminds me of that one stupid fucking Stanley Parable achievement, that is like, don't play the game for 5 years. I mean, it's okay, it's not nearly as bad as that one. I'm getting up on that one as well. That don't play Stanley Parable for 5 years. I think I'm 3 years into it. I don't know, it might be even. Because I know it was only possible since, like, the game released. It only first became possible, like, 2 years ago now to get it. But I don't know, it's been a while. I'm still waiting for the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Right? Because they announced at the Game Awards that the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe was coming. And then they made the joke about The Last of Us getting The Last of Us 2. Because the Stanley Parable lost out on all the awards to The Last of Us. So, right, The Last of Us 2 got delayed. And it was like, hey, maybe it's time the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe comes out. And then they can win all the awards. And then the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe got delayed. And now it's been another year, I think. The Last of Us Part 2 came out, and we've still got nothing on the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. I was super excited for that game, because the original is fantastic. And I'm with new endings and everything, and even just like a remaster in general, I'd pick up in a heartbeat. Alright, even if it was just a game on consoles again, yeah, I'd pick it up. It's a super fun little game. Again, right, there's all that thing about, like, oh, I want a game that, like, right, that you can put, like, there's all this thing about, like, oh, I want games that you can put, like, 1,000 hours into. Right, these people who want, like, every game to be, like, 100 hours. Nah, I don't give a shit about that. I want a game that's 2 to 3 hours, but it's a really... I'll pay good money for a 2 to 3 hour... And when I say good money, I mean like 15, 20 bucks. For a game that's like 2 to 3 hours, but it's a really fucking good 2 to 3 hours. Untitled Goose Game. This Rain on Your Parade, which I think is like 15 bucks, maybe. Donut County, which I've seen on sale. It might be on sale right now on Switch for like 5 bucks. Gato Robato's another one. I mean, yes, I can enjoy my Fall Guys, a game that I've put 1,000 hours into. Okay, I don't know how much I put into it. Right, but I really enjoy a finely crafted few hour experience. And yeah, so I'm totally... Rain on Your Parade's another good one of these. And yeah, I had fun with it. And yeah, I really enjoyed... Just a good, short experience. Like, Forager is kind of like the opposite. Like, Forager is like a is a good experience, but it's one you gotta put like 30 hours into. And Forager, while it's a good game, I mean, it's basically cookie clicker, but like an actual fucking game. It goes on, it overstays its welcome in my opinion. And there is no, and I mean, yeah, I know the updates have added new things, but my problem is that there really isn't any like end goal. Still hasn't entirely been fixed. I don't know, I got addicted to Forager and put like another 20 hours into it once the new update came out, so who am I to judge? And then I guess the last thing I've been playing, or I've been watching, is I watched some animes. So I don't know, I just don't know what to watch anymore. But I remember seeing, there was a show, right? I usually keep up with like seasonal stuff. Not to like watch, but like I have a list of animes. And there was a show called Smile Down the Runway. That was like a seasonal anime, like sometime last year. And I was like, yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Maybe I'll watch that. Right, that doesn't look bad. So I put it on the list, and then I don't know. I saw somebody talking about it like a week ago. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll check it out. Why not? So the basic conceit of the anime is that it's this girl who wants to be like a model, right? Like a runway model. Like her father is runs a modeling agency, and she's been training her like entire life, but she's short, right? To be a model, you have to be like, I think it's like 175 centimeters or something like that, or like 5.8 inches, or like 5.8 feet. It's something like that, 5'8" or something like that to be a runway model. And I want to say she's only like 5'4". She might be even shorter than that. But she's short in comparison to like runway models. Like her coach is like a head, like it has a whole like head on her. But she really wants to be a model. She's determined. She auditions. Her father and the woman who's like teaching her tell her to like give up on her stupid dreams, and she's determined to still. Oh, I didn't even realize I got eliminated. They tell her to give up on her stupid dreams. She says no. She's got what it takes. And then she meets a kid in her, because she's a high school student. She meets a fellow like classmate who likes to design clothes, and he designs her an outfit, and with that she's finally able to get in, right? Like the outfit's designed with her in mind, and she pulls it off because she's got all the talents of a model. She's just short. And like a big part of the show is everybody else realizing that no, she's got the talent. She nails it. She's just short. And because the show is more about the guy. Because the guy really wants to be a clothes designer, but he's like the eldest of 4, and his mother is always in the hospital. So it's always like, oh, I'm going to have to work jobs to support the family. But then, of course, his family's like, hey, follow your dreams, right? Be a fashion designer. He ends up getting some deals early. He gets some work early on, right? And it basically becomes about him. Because the first episode is all about her. And kind of the second episode. But yeah, by like the third episode, it just becomes all around about him. And while I do hate shows that are like, oh, we're gonna start off with like a female protagonist for like our first episode, or first or 2 episodes, but then by like the majority of the show follows like a male protagonist. It happens more. I can think of at least 6 other shows that have done that have started off with the first episode following a female protagonist and then switched over to a male protagonist at least by the 3rd episode. And this technically does kind of count, even though she disappears for like an episode or 2, and then she comes back and gets an episode focused on her, and then she disappears, and then she comes back. But yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I was invested in his struggle, her struggle. I totally got, and she had what it takes to win. Yeah, no, I was invested in the show. I think it's pretty good. I don't know, it was kind of fun. And there's also, it could, like, I could totally see like a later like season, or like later in the manga, where like some romantic tension develops between the two. But no, there's nothing. There's nothing in the show. Like, I don't even think, maybe somebody cracks a joke about it once. But yeah, no, it's just they both have their dream, they're both pursuing it, and they both want to help each other out. Yeah, and admittedly, the girl is the model, right, the short one, is very egotistical, like, fuck. Right, for someone who fails constantly, she has the confidence of someone who has never failed. Which is, like, she's got the determination's good. The confidence, it can be a little annoying, I guess. But yeah, no, it's a fun show. The character I love. And, right, I was watching an episode last night, and I was like, oh, that was a And I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch like one episode before I go to bed. And then it was a really fucking good episode, so I was like, ah, God, I gotta do one more. One of the girls that, the guy, so he's trying to be a fashion designer, and he takes up a job, and he meets, and there's this girl who's like, oh yeah, she also dreams of being a designer, but she's currently a runway model. And like, she's described by her agent as like the perfect runway model, and her agent is constantly like, oh, give up on your stupid dream, right? You're a perfect runway model. I can't have you wasting your talent being a designer. And she becomes one of the main characters, basically, as she has interactions with both. She becomes the hero's, or the guy's best friend, basically. And then the episode that got me was, that one, the main character who, right, she can't get a job because she's short, but she eventually gets one, and it's being like a support to like, right, like being like a backstage support. I mean, she's still out there, kind of, for the other girl, right, the designer, the model who wants to be a designer. And right, she feels, and she gets upstaged, obviously. She gets kicked out because she's too short and all the other girls are tall. And then afterwards she hears the designer talk about like, oh, I don't want to be a model, I want to be a designer, right? The model says that, and it just pisses her the fuck off, because she really wants to be a designer. God damn it, why is this screwing me? But yeah, God, I fucked this up for her. I mean, admittedly, yeah. I fucked this up, though. I got screwed. But yeah, no, she wants to be the model wants to be a designer, and the short model calls her out and is like, fuck you, I work so hard, you're such a lazy piece of shit, you overwork, right, you haven't slept, just straight up calls her out, almost has like a mental breakdown on her. Because this other girl has everything the main character wants, and is willing to give it all up. And it was just like, fuck, that's a really good fucking... Like, I'm glad I watched the one more episode, because fuck, that was a really good scene. Admittedly, I think the main character, the short model's breakdown is a little much. Because she just, like, straight up, like, starts screaming once she realizes she's made a mistake. And, like, yeah. But it's still, I enjoyed it. It's 12 episodes, yeah. I enjoyed it. The last 3 episodes are kind of like, but it's all really good overall. And yeah, I like where it ends, and yeah, I'd watch more of it, sure. It's kind of like sports anime. I didn't expect to give such a shit about badminton, but then that badminton anime was really fucking good, and I actually did give a lot of a shit. God, I was so rooting against the hero by the end, and it was doing a really good job at making me want to root against her. That badminton anime was pretty good. Yeah, that's what I watched. Yeah. I don't know. And then, of course, I've been watching Invincible. It's still really good. Yeah. I've been watching, Falcon and Winter Soldier, obviously, but there was one other thing I watched. I don't remember clearly. I don't know, there's so many shows I need to watch. So many I already think I know what anime I'm gonna watch next. I don't know, because I have just enough free time right now to watch anime, but I don't know, Trial by Fire starts in a little over a month, so that's gonna be fun. So, what's next? What comes next? Well, so we're still I know I meant to stream yesterday, and I know I'm late today. I know I'm just fucking terrible at this. But tomorrow I plan on doing 3D. Tomorrow, Sunday, probably tomorrow, 3D World again. Clearly I've been struggling in Bowser's or in the bonus worlds. They've been kicking my ass, obviously. Oh shit! Speaking of getting my ass kicked, but I'm We're still working on Bowser's Fury. Again, I don't think we're ever going to be able to beat the Champions Road. But by gum, are we going to try? We're not going to do it, obviously. But you know what? Why give up? We're definitely going to get to the Champions Road. And that'll probably be sometime next week. And then at some point, we're going to start Bowser's Fury at some point soon. And yeah, that's my plan at the moment. Of course, after that, well, I don't know. The Switch, ever since it overheated like those 3 days. And ever since then, it seems to be working better. Right? I turned it off. I kept it off. I haven't been using it. And it seems to have been working a lot better. Okay, you're good. Hopefully. Yeah, so the Switch, I don't know. But at the moment, we're going to finish Bowser's Fury. No matter what, we're finishing 3D World. Technically, we beat 3D World. But, you know, we're going to do the bonus stuff. We're going to get up to the Champions Road. If we beat the Champions Road, who knows? We'll see. But we're definitely going to get there. No matter what, we're getting to the Champions Road. Oh, wow, you guys are still back here. We're getting to the Champions Road, and then we're going to start Bowser's Fury, and I'm super excited to start Bowser's Fury. Hopefully that's going to be a lot of fun. And then from there, like I said, I've been considering shifting over to Xbox just because I don't want to break the Switch. I did have one other game I wanted to do on the Wii U. Right, I have talked about busting out the Wii U again, and that might happen at the end of the month. That's totally in the cards that I bust out the Wii U and we do what I have planned for them then, which should only be like a single stream. It might be 2, but I don't plan on it. I plan on it being just a single stream, which would be a lot of work to bust out the Wii U for a single fucking stream, but I've done worse in the past. So yeah, I've been thinking about that. And that's probably gonna be next or 2 weeks from now, honestly. Yeah. I don't want to say it might be kind of obvious because like there's something specific I need on the Wii U that I can't do on the Switch. So it might be somewhat obvious, but yeah, that's the plan at the moment. I may be shifting over to Xbox. I don't know. I've definitely been considering it. Oh, shit. And then, what else? Yeah, shifting over to Xbox or PlayStation or whatever. I'd probably do Xbox before I do PlayStation, admittedly. Because while I know I've said that I've considered doing Ghost of Tsushima in the past, I don't honestly know if that's going to happen. And I have a few ideas for streams that I could totally do on Xbox that I think would work perfectly fine on Xbox. Because, you know, I'm not too picky about what I play on. But there was one other thing. There was some... Oh, we're getting eliminated. There was something else I wanted to do on Switch. And it's like, I'd love to do Pikmin 3 still. That's still in the cards. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I don't want to break the Switch. That's the big thing. If it's overheating... Like, it hasn't overheated since the last time it did on stream. I don't think it has anyways. But I don't want it to happen again. So I'm going to try to avoid it. If we wait to do everything until the Switch Pro, then we wait to do everything until the Switch Pro. I think I got eliminated there, so yeah. And then next week's In Chat actually will take place in Animal Crossing. I know we've been doing Fall Guys, and I still think Fall Guys is it's about as good as Splatoon was for In Chat, right? Where I can focus enough on what I'm saying and also chatting, and I don't lose too much of my focus, hopefully. I think Fall Guys is a pretty great in chat game, but so is Animal Crossing. And next week we will be doing in chat and Animal Crossing. That is the plan at the moment. We'll be booting up Animal Crossing, and we'll just be going around and doing that. This is the one I want. Of all these things, the glitchy mode's kind of cool. I'm within 10. Yeah, because we got both of these today. Wow. Admittedly, I also got a crown today. Yeah. I mean, admittedly, a lot of those have come from the season pass, because like any crown in the season pass does count towards that. But 57's not the worst in the world. I mean, it's not great, but it's not the worst. But yeah. Actually, I'm ending off right now. You came in just as we ended off, but yeah. It sucks. But yeah, yeah, that's the plan. I'll be doing 3D worlds over the next few days, and then yeah, Animal Crossing next week. It'll be good to be back in Animal Crossing, because I've kind of been avoiding the game since we finished off 365 days of Animal Crossing. But yeah, next week is a special, Friday is a special day. So I'm like, that makes sense to go back into it. Hopefully we'll get news about a new update sometime in the next week or two. Probably not until at least the 27th at the earliest. But yeah, hopefully we'll get some news about that. I don't know, I've got a busy weekend ahead of me. I got a paper to fucking write. Or correction, rewrite. Ugh. Yeah. It's funny. I was like, oh, I didn't actually have that much to talk about today. Because I only had a few news stories, and a lot of it I didn't really give a shit about. But yeah. Because I have 3D. Huh. Cool. Yeah, maybe, if you come by next week, I'll totally check out your Animal Crossing island. I love seeing other people's islands. They're always better than mine. I'm hoping I have some changes I've been making to my island, and I'm hoping they're all done by next week, but we'll see. I am not having good luck with flowers right now. I've been trying to get my my flowers to clone themselves, and it's just getting me nothing. But hey, I got a few more golden roses, which is nice. Yeah, you too. Have a good night. And yeah, I think that's what we're gonna end off for today. And yeah, I'll be back when I'm back. I need to go to bed. It's been a long day. I'm just gonna go watch more anime. Hey, we got all the challenges done today. That's nice. But yeah, with that, I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Until next time, peace.